some numbers in the chat for Junior. Go ahead and drop some numbers in the chat. You want the threes, the fives, the sevens, the nines, right? I know I'm from the six, but don't put sixes in the chat. Let's not do that. But I'm really excited to be on this call with you guys. I think there's a lot of value to be given, and I think a lot of the value you guys really will come at the event. Just by a show of ones in the chat, who's committed to being at the event in February 7th, 2026? Put a one in the chat if you're committed. I think everything starts with a commitment. I think everything really starts with a commitment. Amazing. I'm seeing a bunch of ones. Put a two for me in the chat box if you haven't committed as yet, but you're like on the fence. You're like, I'm on the fence. I'm trying to figure it out how I can make it happen, but I'm not a one yet. Okay, no one's putting in twos. Put a three if no matter what I ask, you're never gonna give me a number. Okay, there's some twos coming in. Perfect. So guys, tonight's call, I want to go over some stuff. Junior and I are having a great conversation, and honestly, massive shout out to Junior, man. We got a chance to connect with him out in Bahamas, and I think there's no better place to connect with somebody than the Bahamas. And his heart is so pure. We have the same similar vision. I just want to give value as much as we possibly can to everybody that comes in our path. These people feeling better about themselves than before when they met us. And I love the fact that he's a full bred leader. I think tonight I'm going to talk to you guys real quickly. I put together a training to go over, a mix of leadership. But I think what I'm going to go over with you guys tonight is going to be the foundation of what you need to have a great quarter one. Now, I'll be very transparent. I do speak very fast, so trying to write down everything that I say may not work. But write down what you can, because I do believe there is power in writing things down. If you can't write it down, do your best to pay attention. If not, watch back the recording once this recording has been dropped. Okay. If you guys are all ready, give me a thumbs up. I can't see many cameras, so that means I can't get thumbs up. So what that means? That means you gotta get some cameras on. Can I get a little bit more cameras on? I see Linda got the camera on. Both of them over there, locked and loaded. Can I get a little bit more camera? You know what? Let's do this. I'm gonna give $100 away to the next person that turns their camera on. Let's do this. $100 to the next person that turns their camera on. No, let's do it to the seventh person. So 4 people turn their camera on so far. So 3 more people. 3 more. You can't turn your camera off to turn it back on. Don't do that. Love it. So the winner is going to be Kevin Knight Jr. I'm going to send you $100 Jamaican currency. Okay, Jamaican. We trade forex, right? I can't give you Canadian or US. I'll give you Jamaican currency. Now, honestly, let's deep dive into this. I want to really touch on this. So, the topic of tonight's training is called why. Okay, many of you know the why. We talked about the why what hurts you, da da da. That's not what tonight is. Tonight we're talking really deep why, and we're gonna talk about starting with belief. The reality is, guys, understand this. Your current bank account, your current trading account, your current crypto portfolio, your current stock portfolio, your current organization, your current car, your current home, your current life, all are a direct reflection of your current belief level. Understand this. Every single thing in your life right now is a direct reflection of your belief level. So this is why it's very important why you got to believe. People always say, man, the mindset's so important, but Andre, man, my mind, I'm trying to work on it. No. You don't just work on your mindset. You gotta like live, breathe, eat it. Like every single day, you gotta do whatever it possibly takes to become a better person. You gotta increase the belief in all areas, right? I always say sometimes you gotta raise the bar. I want it to become a thing in Zinrai. We always are raising the bar. BAR stands for belief, action, and results. Okay, but it starts with the B, the belief. You gotta believe. So if you don't like the way your current bank account looks, it's because of your reflection of your belief level. If your crypto portfolio is not looking so pretty, it's your belief level. Your current car, you don't like it, it comes back down to your belief level. Does it make sense to you guys? Put a one in the chat box that's making sense to you. Nothing's on accident. Nothing in your current life right now is on accident. It is exactly the way it's supposed to be based off how much you believe. Some of you already said to yourself, I'm not coming to Dallas event because I got to work, or whatever you believe, you're right. So if you believe it's not going to be worth your time, then guess what? It's not going to be worth your time. If you believe it's going to be worth your time, then it will be worth your time. If you believe you're going to go to the event and become a better person, you're going to come to the event and be a better person. If you believe showing to this call was going to be worth it for you, then guess what? Being on this call is going to be worth it for you. I just saw my homegirl Nicole come on the call. Nicole lives in Czech Republic. I don't know what time it is. Actually, matter of fact, I think she's in like Indonesia or Thailand or something right now, and she's on the call because she believes. She knows this is the place to be. She knows this is the call to be on. Because your belief is super, super powerful and super important. Now let's keep it going. Entrepreneurship. Why entrepreneurship? Why? A lot of people say they want to be an entrepreneur because of financial freedom. The reality is, I'm gonna be honest. If you're committed to come to Dallas, Texas, you're on the right path. If you already made the commitment to not come to Dallas, Texas for that event, February 7th, you could erase everything you see on your screen right now. It's not happening for you. It's not happening. I don't want to break your heart, but it's not happening. Here's why I know it's not happening. Because you've already told yourself it's not worth it enough for me to do whatever I gotta do to make it to that event. Now, some of you may be like, Andre, you don't understand. I'm dealing with this. I got this happen. Well, do what you can. You have what? 3 months to figure it out? As entrepreneurs, the number one thing we do is figure it out. The number one thing we do is figure it out. But why entrepreneurship is so powerful, guys? Financial freedom, number one. I think the ability to buy what you want is powerful. But I think just being able to go to a restaurant and not having to worry about, what can you afford, it's a different vibe. For me, entrepreneurship is very important, not for financial freedom, but for location freedom. Having the ability to be wherever you want to be, wherever around the world, doesn't matter. You don't have to be in the small town or small city or the country that you hate or whatever it is. You can pick up and go. That's why. Mental freedom. I'm a big mental health advocate. You know, any introverts on the call? Type a yes for me in the chat box if you're an introvert. Or if you deal with like social anxiety or you don't like being around people. Anybody like that? That's okay, you can admit it. I always tell everybody I'm the most extroverted introvert you're gonna meet. I know how to flip the switch and become a social butterfly. Like on the call right now, you're like, oh, this guy's for sure not an introvert. But if you know me deep down, if you invite me somewhere, I'm not coming. I like to be alone. Right. So I became an entrepreneur because I wanted location freedom. I wanted mental freedom. Mental freedom for everyone is going to vary. Mental freedom, I don't want to have to force myself to sit beside in a cubicle beside somebody who I don't like. I don't want to talk to you about your weekend. I don't care. Right? So it's mental freedom as to why I pursued entrepreneurship. Friendship freedom. Some of us are forced to be friends with people we don't want to be friends with. Damn, some of you are like, I didn't even heard that one before. Some of you are forced to be friends with people you don't want to be friends with. Guys, all this here are a direct reflection of your belief level. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it rocking around. You're like, oh my god, this is really good. Why trading? This should be a why not trading. But why trading? Well, for my introverts on the call, no speaking to people. Sold. Where do I sign up? That's all I need to hear. No speaking to people. For those who don't know my story, so I've been involved in this industry since I've been 18, okay? On my 18th birthday, to be exact, I got started in this profession. But prior to getting involved with trading, I used to sell cars. So I was 16 hours a day, 6 days a week, selling people cars. I'm selling the people cars I know they can't afford, but I got to pay my bills. So I'm selling you a car. I'm doing whatever I possibly could. When I heard the idea of trading, a guy from Trinidad messaged me on Facebook. He's like, bro, you should be trading. I said, bro, no, I should not. Who are you? I know nothing about trading, nothing about investing. Nobody around me does anything like this. I don't come from money. I never been to post-secondary. I know nothing like this. Matter of fact, I didn't want to talk to you. But it lingered on my mind for about a year. And when I understood the potential of what trading can become, I said, I have to do this. Guys, why trade? No speaking to people, no leaving your bed. Right? A part of our community, one thing we do a live trade room. Every day, Monday through Friday, we jump on the charts, look at the charts together. We look at Magic Scanner. We take positions. Half the time, I get out of bed 2 minutes before. I'm in boxers, no t-shirt. I throw a hoodie on if it's cold in the condo. And I'm on the charts, blasting music. I'm here dancing, playing music, getting fired up, right? And guess what? We take the trade, back to bed. That's it. No sales required. I know some of you got started with trading because you're like, man, I don't got to sell nobody to make money. I love this. I love this, right? Just me and the charts. Lock in. Do I see my setup? No. Come off the charts. Do I see what I want? Yes. Take the trade. Then get off the charts. Real simple. Real simple, right? So why trading is a no-brainer. Why did I put this here? Some of you are like, why are we talking about trading? Like, of course, we had really a potential of trading. Some of you like the idea of trading more than you like the actuality action of trading. Some of you like the idea of trading because you can put in your IG bio, day trader, forex trader, crypto trader. You like it looks cool in the bio, but you're not taking trading seriously. You see, one thing that I learned, okay, I learned very early on. If I desire to do very, very well for myself, I gotta be a leader. Okay, no matter what field you're in, you must be a leader. So I said, regardless of how serious I want to take trading, I got to become a better trader for my current and future team. Today you might not care about having a team. Like, I don't want to talk about. You said no sales. I'm talking about a team. You might not care for it, but at some point, I'm sure Junior can tell you guys this. At some point, trading gets boring. When it's you by yourself, it gets boring. And some of you are like, "What are you talking about? I'll take it." At the very beginning, you just want to make money to pay your bills. I get it, right? Pay your bills. After a certain point in time, you're just like, man, I wish I could share some idea with somebody else. I wish I could celebrate this with somebody. I wonder if anybody else is seeing this, right? So I knew as I had to become a better leader through trading. Now, why trade? But why invest in? Because passive. You see, I love to be a day trader, quote unquote, what that really means these days, right? But I also love investing. The stock market, cryptocurrency. Yeah, you guys know how blessed we are. Matter of fact, let me give you some perspective. I just came from a platform, okay? I came from a platform into Zinrai, where I walked away from a six-figure residual income to come into Zinrai. And one of the things that sold me on Zinrai was because we had stocks education. Could you guys believe there's other trading platforms out there that don't actually teach you about investing? Isn't that crazy? I just have a platform where they weren't even trying to teach you how to invest into the cryptocurrency market. It was just straight trading. So why invest in? Because it's passive. The reality is, guys, some of you will do better building a portfolio than you will actually day trading. But you won't get the full story and full understanding of that until you get to yourself to the event in Dallas, Texas. Because you get a chance to hear from some of the best investors. Some of you, your emotions are absolutely out of whack. And there's nothing wrong with being emotional, guys. Stop looking at it as a negative connotation. There's nothing wrong with being emotional. As long as you know how to handle and channel your emotions correctly. But for some of us, the best route for us for long-term wealth is investing. But you wouldn't know that until you get to the event and get a chance to rub shoulders with Patrick Kenny, rub shoulders with Mike Sotero. Second, the stability behind it. I'm sure you guys saw the markets today. Who caught that drop in the market? Put a three for me in the chat box. Who caught that drop or caught a piece of the drop? Kind of quiet in the chat. Wow. We're not catching the moves? I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I didn't catch the full thing. I caught some of it, but I didn't catch the full thing either. Right? Well, the reality is when it comes to investing, right? Yes, you will have time that the drop happened, your portfolio went down, but it's okay. We understand it's a correction, not a crash, right? And it's healthy for the market. It has to fill the imbalances to go back higher. It is what it is. Less emotions are required. For those of you that are like, oh my God, I'm super emotional, investing is for you, right? But you wouldn't know that until you get to the event to learn a little bit more about that. Why investing? It's what the wealthy do. We all know at this point in time, if you don't know already, you're not going to save your way to retirement. You're not going to save your way to financial freedom. You're going to have to put your money to work. You see, how I look at it is if you have to go to work, your money needs to go to work. Why should we go to work and our money doesn't go to work? No, you're going to work for me, right? I would say make your money be a slave to you. Don't be a slave to the money. Why leadership? You see, the world doesn't need more followers. When I got involved in this profession, I said, okay, like a little rewind a bit. 8 years ago, I joined a platform, okay? And I said, I want to learn how to trade. I tried the space of network marketing, direct sales, whatever you want to call it. I said, it just doesn't work. I said, it doesn't work. I spoke to hundreds of people. Nobody wants to do this thing. I think you guys are all liars. Nobody's making money residually. Doesn't work. I said, let me learn how to trade. And the very first day, the person that got me started said, "Okay, Andre, just build a list of some people, call your friends, and I'll show you where the academy is." And I said, "Wow, you're just gonna trick me into this? Okay." I'm grateful. All right, I'm one of the individuals. I'm grateful. We always hear the sad story about what happened. I'm grateful because in that platform, things went very, very well. All right, things went very, very well. You know the name chairman, you know the name chairman. We were able to do that. But guess what happened? I learned the importance of leadership. You see, I learned if I could be the best trader possible, I could help my team. If I could be the best leader possible, I could help my team. So I learned something very important in that motion. The more residual income I had, the better my trading got. Isn't that ironic? I got involved to learn how to trade, but as my residual income got bigger, my trading got better. Why is that? I had less emotions, guys. I blew $300. What do you do? The platform's gonna pay me X amount this Friday. I blew $1,000. What do you do? The platform's gonna pay me X amount this Friday. And eventually you do it, and what ends up happening? Your emotions disappear. But you know what also happened, guys? As I became a better trader, I became a better leader. I became a better networker. My confidence went through the roof. Because I wasn't, hear me loud and clear. When I say being a better trader, I wasn't calling my own trades yet. But I got really good at using the scanners that we had available. I got to a six-figure income on the residual side before I got to a six-figure income on the trading side. Shout out to Jordan Morgan. Jordan Morgan literally took me beneath his wing July 2020. Started doing one-on-one calls with me. He said, be on all my sessions. I spent time with him in Texas. I'm like, bro, I don't understand none of this smart money stuff. It makes no sense to me. I'm trying to figure it out, but it's making no sense to me. And I stuck with it, stuck with it, stuck with it. Guys, I'm going to understand how obsessed I became. I moved to the west coast of Canada. Okay, it was a city called Vancouver. I moved to the west coast where I knew nobody, so I could lock in and get really good at trading. I'm locked in. I'm on Jordan Morgan sessions. I'm on Rock Coomer sessions. Like I'm doing whatever I possibly can, whatever I possibly can. And the more I learned, the more confident I became. I wasn't calling my own trades yet, but I could jump on a call with somebody and say, "Let me show you where liquidity is on the market. Let me show you this real quick. Let me show you where imbalance is. Let me show you where the market's going to return down to." They're like, "How do you know this?" Because our education works. You see, guys, we need more leaders, not more followers. If you're on this call because you're on this call because you want to be a leader, if you desire to be a bigger and better leader, put a 3 for me in the chat box. Cachet, putting a 3 in the camera is not going to work. I need you to type it in the chat box. I see the fingers. You see, if you desire to be a bigger and better leader, you got to be at Dallas, Texas, February 7th, 2026. You got to be at the Wealth Conference. You got to be there. You're going to be around some of the best leaders in the industry. You see, guys, look at the bottom real quickly, okay? At the bottom, I put some NBA players. Some of you are like, I don't know these players. Maybe you know names, but you don't know the skills. You see, guys, everybody knows Steph Curry as one of the best shooters of all time. Okay, probably not one of the best shooter of all time. Everybody knows Shaquille O'Neal, the most dominant player in NBA history. But you know what's crazy? When people are talking about who's the best player of all time, no one ever talks about Steph Curry. No one ever talked about Shaquille O'Neal. Why? Because they were also horrible at other skills. So they're dominant and they're great at shooting, but they're horrible. Horrible at free throws for Shaquille O'Neal. Horrible at defense for Steph Curry. Who did they mention? Kobe Bryant, LeBron James. Michael Jordan's too easy, so I put Kobe and LeBron. Why? Because they were great all around. It was hard to identify what their weakness is. As a leader, your goal is this. Never allow people to look at you and know what your weakness is right off the bat. People should look at you and be like, man, this person's a leader in all aspects. Look at their social media. They're crushing it. Look at their trading portfolio, their investment portfolio. They're doing crazy. They're amazing. Their trades fire. They're on a leaderboard. They're enrolling people. You don't have a weakness. You're reading the books. You're listening to the podcast. You're going through Zinrai Elevate. You know all the products at the back of your hand. You can go on Zinrai Q, right, and walk through anything on the platform. You know the order. You're like, you know what? Okay, at the top, you're gonna have the trade vault, and you're gonna have the journal. You have the journal. You have the scanner hub to the right. You have the news feed on the left. At the bottom, you have the Q feed. You have it in the back of your mind because you're a leader. That's what leaders do. These are going to do whatever it possibly takes to know there's no weakness. You cannot allow people to see that you have a weakness. Is it making sense to you guys? So why leadership? Because going back to it, the world doesn't need more followers. Your current and future team needs someone bold enough to go first. Guess what, guys? Why you? Because you deserve all the finer things in life. I want you guys to all understand this. You are all the baddest two things walking on 2 feet. You're the baddest thing walking on 2 feet. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise. You deserve it all. Don't make someone make you feel guilty for wanting more out of life. You're God's highest form of creation. You're not put on this earth to live an average lifestyle, live a mediocre lifestyle. You deserve all the finer things. You deserve to drive what you want, live where you want, travel where you want, eat what you want, take care of your loved one. You deserve all this. You know, the most important thing for me is this. Nipsey Hussle says, the greatest human act is to inspire other individuals. Guys, there's someone out there waiting for you to be successful to believe they can do it too. There's someone out there that has a story very similar to you, just waiting and praying, just wanting for a sign of hope that's possible for them. But guess what? Because you're playing small, it's holding them back. Because you're taking this business, you're not committed to coming to the event February 7th. You're blocking not only your blessing, you're blocking somebody else's blessing. Now, some of you are like, Andre, I'm not worried about anybody else. I'm focused on me. Well, Zig Ziglar says, service to many leads to greatness. Help enough people get what they want, by default, you get what you want. So why you? Because you deserve it. Tell yourself that every single day. Now, why Zinrai? Best leadership, best ownership. Guys, I would not be here today in Zinrai if the owner was not Jason. My entire organization knows this from day one. I said, number one reason why Zinrai, Jason. Jason, I know Jason on a deep level. Like, you know, we went through a lot. We went through a lot. Like been at his wedding, spent a lot of time with him. You know, he's done so much for me, for my organization, for me. Like I remember coming to Toronto, took me to my first Blue Jays game. Like, you know, just so much. The ownership of Zinra, guys, some of you may not know him on a deep level. I want you to understand, we have the best possible owner ever. I love Katie too. Don't get me wrong, I love Katie too. I'm not speaking highly of Katie, but trust me, she's really, really great. But Jason, Jason's the one. Guys, the best products and services. Now, some of you are like, are you just saying that because you're here? I've looked at everything. Promise you, I've looked at everything. I've sat with every company owner, I sat with the investors, the board of directors. I spoke to other companies, educators. I've been in their group chats. I checked out everything and anything I could before I partnered with Zinrai. No one does it like us. Nobody. Nobody. We literally have the best service and product. And know what's exciting? As Junior always says, the best is yet to come. There's still more. Guys, we are always forever evolving and growing. We have the best compensation plan, the most lucrative, the most aggressive. Guys, the platform says you have a team of 12 people, they'll pay you $600 USD every single month. Help 12 people to start their trading journey, help 12 people to start their investment journey, and you are rewarded with $600 US a month. Where else are you finding that? This isn't MRR, this isn't digital marketing, right? Where you're paid a one time. You're paid every single month. Like we have the best education educators. You know what's funny? I remember speaking to other individuals, and they're like, "You're going to Zinrai? Why Zinrai?" I'm like, "Trade house." Everybody went mute, like mute. I'm like Jordan Morgan, like shoot, you know what? You're right. Yeah, you're right. Jordan is there. Yeah, you're right. Zach Hogan is there. Yeah, oh, Mike Sotero's there too. Shoot, yeah, you're right. Mute. You know, I think in this world, everyone has their own opinion of what's the best is, what's the best at. No, we literally have it. The last thing here, why Zinrai? You know, as in real estate, location, location, location. Location is the thing that matters the most. You want to be near the schools, the parks, the airports, the malls, all the water, all that stuff. In business, it's time and time and time in. Guys, this is going to be the first big event of Zinrai in North America. You have the opportunity to say you were at the very first big event of North America. You and I are looking at it like the North America launch. You have the ability to be the first, to walk across straight stage, to be recognized at the first. I don't know if you guys know the movie Ricky Bobby. What do you say? If you're not first, you're last. You have the opportunity to be at the first event. So that leads me to what? Why the Wealth Conference? Guys, this is probably the most important thing. If you take anything from this call, who you are today is not the version of you that can attract massive success. The person who you are today is not the person you have to be to attract massive level of success. If you were, you would already have it. Some of you desire to be having $10,000 a month withdrawals from your trading account. It's not happening because you're not that version of yourself that can attract that yet. Some of you desire to attract leaders into your organization. You are not that version of yourself yet that can attract it. Put a 1 in the chat box if you would love to have someone like Junior on your left leg and someone like me on your right leg. Look at the ones going nuts. Look at the ones going nuts. Well, think about it. And be honest with yourself. You want to answer in the chat. Do you feel you are qualified? Do you feel you are developed? Do you feel you are disciplined? Do you feel you are coachable? Do you feel you have strong enough leadership to attract a Junior or myself into your business? And if the answer is no, you know where you got to be February 7th, right? See, because one thing you're going to learn about us, we're going to call it what it is. We're not going to sugarcoat. We're not going to beat around the bush. We're not going to water down anything. We're going to tell you exactly what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. The success that you guys are desiring, you can't attract it based on who you are today. You're going to have to grow. I'm going to have to grow. So why the Wealth Conference? Because your future self will thank you. But you got to commit today. You can't make that commitment tomorrow. You can't make that commitment next week. You can't commit when things are more convenient. Success doesn't come when it's convenient. Success doesn't come when it feels comfortable. It comes in your uncomfort zone. You got to first commit, and then things will happen and work out in your favor. Because what? The average person does what? The average person says, I got to see it to believe it. But we know in Zinrai, you got to believe it in order to see it. If you don't commit, you're not going to see the success that you truly desire. So that's it, guys. I'm looking forward to meeting every single one of you guys at the event. I'm looking forward to shaking your hand. I'm looking forward to giving you the high five you cross the stage. I'm looking forward to seeing the next version of you be unlocked at that event. I'm looking forward to it. And I know it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. How do I know that, guys? Because it happened to me. I remember I attended an event and everything for me changed after that. Everything for me changed after that. At big events, big decisions are made. It's time for you to be at the big event to make your big decision. Junior, thank you, bro.